Embark on your civil services journey with Vision IS. Introducing the Delhi GS Foundation Course 2026, turning UPSC dreams into reality. Access interactive learning tools, animations, videos, and an immersive interface. Utilize our tech-enabled student portal for performance tracking and personalized feedback. Stay ahead with daily assignments, weekly mini tests, and monthly revisions. Strengthen your preparation with expert-researched, UPSC pattern study material. Delhi General Studies Foundation Course 2026. Batches start 29th November, 5 p.m., Karol Bagh. 19th November, 9 a.m., Karol Bagh. Take the first step towards success. With Vision IS, success is just a step away. Get ready to conquer UPSC Prelims 2025 with a stronghold over current affairs. Enroll for the PT 365 program, a 20-day course offering comprehensive coverage of 1-year current affairs in 60 hours. This meticulously designed curriculum features daily sessions on important subjects relevant to the prelims examination. Starting offline from 9th January at 5 p.m., the highlights include complete coverage of current affairs from sources such as The Hindu, Indian Express, PIB, Economic Times, Yojana among others. Flexibility of class timing with access to live online classes for distance learning students. Access to Sandhan, a personalized prelims test series. Personalized assessment and feedback. Doubt clearing sessions and mentoring. Get on board to succeed in prelims with excellence in current affairs.
Okay, good afternoon. Namaste everyone. Welcome to Vision IS. Today we are discussing the topic of protected areas in India. In India, what are the different kinds? How are they different from each other? Okay, so first tell me, have you ever been to any national park, wildlife sanctuary? कहीं गए हो? कहीं नहीं गए? कहाँ गए हो? Sanjay Gandhi National, Mumbai? Okay, so how was the experience? किसके लिए? अच्छा, caves के लिए, okay. All right. तो आपको वहाँ पे क्या करने दिया और उन्होंने क्या नहीं करने दिया? What were the activities that you were allowed to do? Hunting की? कुछ मारा वारा तो नहीं? Okay. All right. Anyone else who has been? Where have you been? Oh, very nice. Very nice. Okay, so do you know that is a protected area? Did you try to find out before entering where you are entering? Okay, 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 okay. So we say from now on, whenever we are entering any jungle or any trek or anything like that, we have to find out for our knowledge sake, not for any other reason, for our curiosity, that where is it that we are exactly going, okay? And we'll try and understand the differences among all of them. So let's start. पहले मुझे ये बताओ कि in older times, जो ancient India और let's say पुराना टाइम, एंशियंट मिडीवियल टाइम्स, राजे महाराजे होते थे, हाउ डिड दे टेक केयर ऑफ द बायोडाइवर्सिटी? वो तो बहुत हंटिंग करते थे. So did they really take care of the animals and plants and biodiversity? Did they? How? I mean, how could they? So look, the fact that in India, biodiversity, plants and animals, all these have always been a part of our culture, of our ecosystem, of our growing up, right? Now, you know the theme of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, right? The world is one family. We always include plants, animals, biodiversity in that theme, right? Now, conservation of animals, plants, wild animals, all has always been a ethos of our country. Now, of course, ancient times mein things were a little less regulated, ancient, medieval, before the modern era, so to say. But certain kings and certain, they had ways of doing it. So, for example, they would designate an area as a game reserve, या फिर यहाँ पे hunting करनी है तो बस इसी area में करनी है, we will not disturb the rest of the biodiversity. So that way certain, dynasties, certain kings had ways of protecting the biodiversity. All right. Some of them were really fond of animals also. So that was there. But the real protection of biodiversity in the Indian context started post-independence. Okay, so first let's see what happened initially when the British came into India. British came into India in roughly about the 18th century, right? तो सबसे पहले जो एक law आया इंडिया में, that was known as the, do you know, any idea? Yes, in 1927, Indian Forests Act, 1927. Okay. Under this act, for the first time, Britishers realized here we need control over Indian forests. Why? एक तो railways had started picking up. ठीक है? Mumbai to Thane railway had already come. So they needed timber, they needed wood for building ships, for building sleepers of the train, berth banate the uske. And of course, timber was something that was, so shipbuilding also helped British win over Napoleon. So that was something, timber they realized was a resource they needed control on. So what they did was they came out with this act called Indian Forest Act in 1927, in which they classified the forests of India into 3 categories. Okay, let's see what those categories are. First is reserved forest. Second is protected forests. And third was village forests. Okay. These were the 3 main categories in which British divided the Indian forests. They realized that, look, forests we had a lot of traditional forest dwellers, we had tribals, we had indigenous communities who have been living in forests for a very long time, and shifting cultivation was something that was very popular then. So what happens in shifting cultivation? You grow, you cut down a patch of forest, you grow crop for some time, and then you, जब आपकी soil infertile हो जाती है, you leave it fallow, you move to another patch, cut another patch. So Britishers realized that there was a lot of forests which was, probably getting wasted because of this practice, and also they had less control over the resources. So they came up with this classification of forests in which reserved forests had the highest category of protection. That means it was completely under British control. Okay, and anybody could not even take any resources, could not collect timber, could not do anything with those reserve forests. वो completely protected था. Second level was protected, in which little bit allowance was given, very little, that too with permission. And finally, third were village forests, in which village dwellers, communities, forest dwellers had some sort of right over the resources of those forests. Okay, now this is what happened in 1927. Cut to cut to 1936. In 1936, for the first time a protected area was designated in India that was known as the Hales National Park, जिसे हम आजकल जानते हैं more commonly known as the Jim Corbett. Correct. Jim Corbett National Park. This was the first time a proper wildlife sanctuary or a national park was designated in India, known as the Hales Park. Okay. Now this was named after, this person was named after William Malcolm Haley, who was the governor of United Provinces. That was a province in the British era, United Provinces, which we currently know the Uttar Pradesh wala area. Okay, उनके governor के नाम पे था. All right, and at that time, for the first time, British inaugurated a post or started a post for the protection of forests, which was known as the Inspector General of Forests in India. Inspector General of Forests in India. Inspector General of Forests in India. The first person to become the first Inspector General was somebody known as Dietrich Brandis. He was a German. Okay, Dietrich Brandis. Okay. I am telling you a little bit about the pre-independence era. What was the basics? कहाँ से हम आ रहे हैं? All right, understood? Okay. So this happened in 1936. We achieved our independence in which year? 47. And by 1972, we had almost 4 to 5 national parks India में establish हो चुके थे. Okay, Mudumulai was the second ऐसे करके. All right. So by 1972, we had about 4 to 5 national parks were established, but they were not really statutorily recognized. Okay. So now, everyone's noted this. कुछ तो नहीं करना इसमें. Okay. Now come to 1972. In 1972, the government of India came up with an act called Wildlife Protection Act. (1972). All right. Under this act, we statutorily, यानी कि under the law, we recognized two kinds of protected areas. Two kinds of protected areas. First being national parks. Second being wildlife sanctuaries. Okay, पहले ये दो हुए थे. Main these were the two. Okay, then in the year 2002, an amendment was made in this act, and 2 more types of protected areas were recognized under the act. These were conservation reserves and community reserves. आज मैं तुम्हें सारे डाउट क्लियर कर दूंगी कि किसका क्या काम है, कौन क्या प्रोटेक्ट करता है, कितना करता है, टाइगर रिजर्व डिफरेंट क्यों होता है, बायोस्फीयर रिजर्व अलग क्यों होता है, एलिफेंट रिजर्व क्या होता है. वील क्लैरिफाई ऑल ऑफ इट टुडे. ठीक है, सो दैट तुम्हें कॉन्सेप्चुअली कभी इसमें डाउट ना आए. ऑलराइट, सो these are the 4 types of protected areas that have been recognized under the Wildlife Protection Act, जो हमारे statutorily recognized हैं. Okay, can you tell me सबसे ज़्यादा हमारी कंट्री में कौन सा है? नंबर सबसे ज़्यादा किसका है? Wildlife sanctuaries. How much is the number? Rough number. Yes, more than 500 is it's about 573. We currently at the moment have 573 wildlife sanctuaries in India. All right. Next number. और अच्छा चलो पहले लेट्स टॉक अबाउट नेशनल पार्क्स एंड वाइल्ड लाइफ सेंचुरीज, ये बाद में रखते हैं, ठीक है. नेशनल पार्क्स कितने हैं? We have 106 national parks. Okay, 106 national parks. Okay, and how much percent of India's geographical area is under these protected areas? Under the national parks, we have about 1.35% of our geographical area is currently under national parks. Okay, and with wildlife sanctuary, it is about 3.76% of our area is currently under wildlife sanctuaries. ठीक है, तो पहले तो broadly इन दोनों का difference understand. Okay, now let's come here. Let's come here. Okay, conservation reserves and community reserves. Conservation, community word itself is telling you that these are something, this has something to do with the community, has something to do with the people. Okay, so that means people will have a stake, will be a stakeholder or will have a stake in management of these areas. ये तो clarity है, ठीक है. Now let's talk about the numbers. What are the numbers? कौन सा ज़्यादा है? Do we have more conservation reserves or do we have more community reserves? How much? Okay, we have conservation reserves is about 115 and community reserves is 220. Okay, 220. But a very interesting thing is conservation reserves in India, if you talk about the geographical area, comprise, conservation reserves comprise about 0.17% of the geographical area of India, and community reserves comprise only 0.04%. 0.04. Okay, so if UPSC asks you a questions, arrange the following protected areas in the according to the number of that they are in India, your ranking यहाँ तो ठीक रहेगा. Wildlife sanctuaries is first, second is national parks. But if the UPSC is asking number of community reserves is more than conservation reserves. But if UPSC asks, arrange the following protected areas in rank of their area that they occupy in India, conservation reserve is more than community reserve. ठीक है, this is just a broad understanding कि ये कहाँ कितना actually फैला हुआ है, हमें पता होना चाहिए कि how much of what is where. ठीक है, now is this clear? Till now it is clear. Now let's go to the governance structure of forests and wildlife protection in India. How does that work? इनके जो differences हैं, we'll come back to it again. ठीक है, but first let's understand how the governance structure of these, you know, the main wildlife happens in India. होता कैसे है? All right, shall I erase it? You've written down? Okay. Now let's first start with governance structure. We'll start at the top. There is at the national level. Okay, at the national level, you obviously have the executive, which is the Prime Minister, and then you have the Ministry of Environment, Forests and Climate Change. Okay, the main body which looks after protection of wildlife in India at the national level is the National Board for Wildlife. Okay. National Board for Wildlife. Okay. This is chaired by, who is the chair of this body? Yes. This is, the chair of this body is the Prime Minister. And who is the vice chair? Huh? The vice chair, if Prime Minister तो कोई minister level का होगा, थोड़ा सा common sense, ठीक है? So it is chaired by the Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Okay? It's a big body. It has about 47-48 members. Okay? इतने members हैं इसके, almost हर department के ministers इसके members हैं. For example, tribal affairs, rural development. Okay? All, yes, water. So they are all members of this. In fact, Chief of Army Staff, Chief of Defense Staff, they are also members of this. ठीक है? So it's a pretty prestigious body. अब इस body को अगर काम करना है, if the body has to take actions, obviously it cannot meet that often. Prime Minister is a busy man. You can't expect him to meet every now and then. So they have created a committee out of this body, which is known as the Standing Committee of the National Board for Wildlife. Okay, this standing committee. All right. So इसमें about 47 to 48 members हैं. This committee has about 10 to 12 members. Okay. तो वो उसी body में से 10 to 12 people are nominated by the chair who will be in the committee. So committee is a body which can meet more regularly. It can meet more often क्योंकि थोड़ा सा lesser level के functionaries हैं. Okay, so they meet almost every 3 months, or they are required to meet almost every 3 months. Okay, and this National Board for Wildlife is constituted every 3 years. It is constituted every 3 years. ठीक है? It also has representatives from NGOs, about 5 to 7 people from different NGOs, okay, so that public consultation can also be done. They are also member of National Board for Wildlife. ठीक है? Clear? Okay. Now, let's go a little further down. Let's go to the state level. Now, state government in India has the complete administrative control of forests, okay, especially forests which are recognized by the government or which are on public land, okay. So, complete administrative control जो ये जो है ना National Board for Wildlife, this is more or less like an advisory body. Advisory body, and it gives yes or no. Proposals आते हैं उनको yes or no करता है. What kind of proposals? I'll just tell you. So this is a body which says yes or no. तुम खुद सोच लो Prime Minister है, okay? But this body, the state level पे जो body है, that is the State Board for Wildlife. Okay, and the state government, they have complete administrative control over the forest resources. All right, now इनका who is the chair of this body? Who is the chair? Yes, naturally, ठीक है. And okay, now see this. Okay, इनका काम है to tell कि what basically they do the administrative part. Each and every small thing they look into. What are the reserve forests? What should be the national parks? What should be the wildlife sanctuary? Main जो work है on ground practical work is done by this body. ठीक है? All right. Now what happens is there are now, for example, now if if a state government wants to designate a particular area, उन्होंने देखा ये जंगल है, यहाँ पे important biodiversity है, plants है, animals है, I want to designate this area as a national park or a wildlife sanctuary. So what do? They create a proposal for this. All right, they create a proposal for this, which is sent to the National Board for Wildlife. Okay, National Board for Wildlife approves or disapproves this. Okay, this is also true when the state government, मान लो कोई existing protected area है, there is a wildlife sanctuary or there is a national park. For an existing area, if the state government wants that, okay, now there is a national park in my state, but I want to construct a railway line, or I want to construct a highway in the national park, the state government cannot do it on its own. It has to send the proposal to the National Board for Wildlife for using the forest area for non-forest purposes. Okay, so for example, if I have to create a highway, if I have to create whatever, right? So the proposal for non-forest use, especially in a protected area like a national park or a wildlife sanctuary, that goes to the National Board for Wildlife. They consider whether you can go for this within a protected area, yes or no. Okay, this is more or less the governance structure. Acha, in areas where there is no protected area, मान लो जंगल है, but it is not a wildlife sanctuary or it is not a national park, yet the state government wants to construct a highway. If it is not a protected area, the proposal for permission again goes to the central level, but at the central level there is another body which considers it, which is called the Forest Advisory Committee. Forest Advisory Committee. Okay, so basically there is a lot of back and forth consultation that goes on between the center and the state level. If the state is diverting the forest area from a national park or a wildlife sanctuary, it has to take prior permission from the board, national board. If it is doing it not from a protected area, it has to take permission of a body called Forest Advisory Committee, which is also at the national level. Okay, clear? Now, at the state level, what are the different kinds of functionaries या फिर different kinds of offices that are there at the state level? So we know there is the forest minister. I'll just come. Yes. We'll come to that. When I explain those things to you, you will understand. Okay? All right. Forest minister, fine. सबसे पहले state level पे we are talking. Okay? Under the forest minister, there is one senior most bureaucrat of the forest department who is also a member of the Indian Forest Services. Indian Forest Service का exam होता है along with prelims IFOS which we called. Okay? So उस सर्विस का जो सीनियर मोस्ट ऑफिसर या ऑफिशियल होता है, ही इज नोन एज द प्रिंसिपल चीफ कंजर्वेटर ऑफ फॉरेस्ट्स. also known as PCCF. Okay. So how state government works? There is a CM, एक चीफ मिनिस्टर होता है, अलग अलग मिनिस्ट्रीज होती हैं एट द स्टेट लेवल ऑल्सो, जैसे नेशनल लेवल पे होती हैं. एट द स्टेट लेवल देर विल बी अ मिनिस्ट्री और अ डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ फॉरेस्ट. देर विल बी अ डिपार्टमेंट, मिनिस्ट्री तो नेशनल लेवल पे होता है, देर विल बी अ डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ फॉरेस्ट. इन दैट डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ फॉरेस्ट इट विल बी हेडेड बाय वन forest minister, okay, and second bureaucratic level पे the principal chief conservator of forests or PCCF, who is usually or 99% of the time a member of Indian Forest Service. This is the top level of post that you can achieve in this service at the state level. Okay. Now what happens? Department of Forests है जिसमें सब है, forest है, environment है, सब कुछ है. Within that department, certain divisions are made. Okay, there will be one division for, let's say, environment, one division for wildlife, one division for, let's say, any other, climate change हो गया, कुछ हो गया, ठीक है. So one division is for wildlife. So उस division का जो head होता है, okay, under PCCF, but head of the division of wildlife is known as the Chief Wildlife Warden. Okay, that position is known as the Chief Wildlife Warden. So this person basically controls all the protected areas. Administrative control over the protected areas of the state. Okay, because through protected areas we are conserving the wildlife. Okay, so that is the Chief Wildlife Warden. In some cases the PCCF can also take charge. He can say कि मैं wildlife division अपने under directly रख रहा हूँ, so he can do that also. Okay, but normally it is the Chief Wildlife Warden of a state is the person who is heading the wildlife division of that state. This is a very important functionary. Okay, this in terms of the act also, because it finds a special mention in the Wildlife Protection Act. Chief Wildlife Warden of the state बताया है होना चाहिए, उसकी क्या roles and responsibilities हैं, and what are the powers he or she has. Okay, so we'll come to that. UPSC has also asked a question on this functionary, so we'll discuss that question also going forward. Is this clear? अभी तक पूरा अच्छे से समझ आ गया है. We have at national level and then we have at the state level. At the state level, these are the three main functionaries, and we have a state board for wildlife. Clear? Okay. Apart from all this, there are other certain departments in the state. कुछ और departments भी होंगे which are, you know, which have important role to play. Can you tell me what are the other departments at the state level who will have a role to play in the forest management? क्या हो सकता है? Do you think police will have a role to play? Police will have a role to play, yes, because of forest crimes like illegal trafficking. Okay, so that police department has a role to play. Revenue department has a very important role to play. What does the revenue department do? Revenue department का क्या काम होता है मेन? Land records. कि कौन सी land किसको belong करती है. तो main problem with forest land is that people try to contest कि ये तो हम इतने सदियों से यहाँ रह रहे हैं, ये मेरा land है. Okay, this is not a forest land, this is my land. So these kind of things are taken care of by revenue department because they have the land records. So revenue department is very important. All right. Then you have the water resources department. Water resources department. What does the water resources department do? वाटर का क्या काम है? डैम्स, कैनाल्स, ठीक है. सो योर वाइल्ड लाइफ सैंचुरीज, योर प्रोटेक्टेड एरियाज आर इनकम्प्लीट विदाउट वाटर. सो यू नीड टू बी ऑन इन टैंडम विद द वाटर डिपार्टमेंट. आपको उनके साथ काम करना ही पड़ेगा. ओके, सो दीज आर ऑल्सो डिपार्टमेंट्स विच आर इक्वली working with the forest department. And the fourth one is the public works department. PWD जैसे बोलते हैं. Public Work Department, PWD. Public Work Departments are responsible for state highways, for roads, village roads. Okay, so road construction, roads is always a problem when it comes to protected areas. कहाँ बननी है, कहाँ नहीं बननी, कहाँ से जानी है. So these are the four departments at the state level which also have a very important role to play in forest management. ठीक है, अभी हमको सब clear हो गया कि क्या गवर्नेंस स्ट्रक्चर कौन से हैं, कौन कौन से डिपार्टमेंट्स हैं, व्हाट आर द रोल दे प्ले एंड एवरीथिंग. ऑल राइट. ओके, We have discussed State Board for Wildlife, chair is CM, and the forest minister of the VC is the forest minister. जैसे यहाँ पे Minister of Forest, Environment and Climate Change at the national level is the vice chair. The vice chair for State Board for Wildlife is the state level minister of this department. Clear? ठीक है? Understood? ठीक. Okay. So tell me one thing, how much forest, क्या इंडिया के सारे forests, all the forests of India are owned by the government? कितना है, क्या है? Who else owns the forests of India? Huh? Yes, local communities, indigenous communities, tribals, you can say that. About 86% of India's forests are publicly owned or owned by the government, and only 14% are privately owned. Okay? So this is the rough number, distinction. Okay, clear. अभी गवर्नेंस स्ट्रक्चर समझ आ गया है कि क्या है, कैसे है. All right. Now let's go back to understanding the difference between all the 4 protected areas. Okay, we will read this under certain heads. I will start with national parks. And wildlife sanctuaries. Clear? I will start with these 2, then we'll bring the other 2. But इसी table पे continue करेंगे, ठीक है? So no problem on that front. Okay. Now we will understand the differences between these 2 under certain heads. The first head is restriction. That means how difficult it is for human activity. See, the purpose of these protected areas is to protect them from humans only at the end of the day. So इनका जो main distinction है will be how much we have to, how much activity we can allow in each one of those. So restriction is one. Second is boundary. Second is boundary, okay. Third will be ownership. ये किसको belong करते हैं? All right. And fourth will be the purpose. So if I talk about the restriction, I'll write that down also. मैं वो भी लिख देती हूँ. We'll write down conservation reserve here. And you can write down community reserve here. Those who are watching online and finding it difficult, if the speed is slow, you can always watch at a faster pace, 1.5 times. All right. So if I talk about the restrictions, okay, हम जितना right में जाएंगे, restrictions उतनी कम होंगी. Restrictions will be less. So the most protected form of protected area in India is the national park, followed by wildlife sanctuary, followed by conservation reserve, and last में community reserves. The name tells you that community है तो community का इसमें ज़्यादा involvement होगा, ठीक है? All right. Now, the national park basically is the most protected area जहाँ पे there is absolutely zero human intervention allowed. Absolutely zero. मतलब apart from forest department and the officials, absolutely zero human interference. Okay. So what are the different kinds of activities that you cannot enter without permission? you need permission to enter. You cannot collect forest produce. Okay. There cannot be any tourism. There cannot be any tourism. Okay, आप एंटर नहीं कर सकते, आप फॉरेस्ट प्रोड्यूस नहीं कलेक्ट कर सकते. ओके, यू कैन नॉट हैव एनी एजुकेशन अनलेस यू आर गिवन अ स्पेशल परमिशन. ठीक है, बट दैट इज वेरी रेयर, वेरी वेरी रेयर. जनरली इट इज द मोस्ट प्रोटेक्टेड एरिया. ऑल राइट, यू कैन नॉट डू दैट. नाउ एज अपोज टू दैट, इन अ वाइल्ड लाइफ सैंक्चुरी यू कैन एंटर. ऑफकोर्स एंटर करने के लिए यहाँ पे भी एक परमिशन लगती है, टिकट्स लगते हैं, तो ऐसा नहीं है कि कोई भी घुसे चले जा रहे हैं. इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट, बट इट इज अलाउड. फॉर एग्जाम्पल इन द कंटेक्स्ट ऑफ टूरिज्म ऑल्सो. ओके, tourism also will be allowed here, and the traditional forest dwellers or the communities that are living there are allowed to collect forest produce. All right, freely they can live there. So for example grazing, अगर वो कुछ गांव वाले वहाँ पे रह रहे हैं, उनकी गाय वाय है, वो ग्रेजिंग करना चाहती है, तो वो कर सकती है उस एरिया में. ओके, दैट विल बी अलाउड इन अ वाइल्ड लाइफ सैंक्चुरी. क्लियर, अंडरस्टूड. नाउ boundary, when we talk about the boundary, all right, usually boundary is defined for both. जब कोई स्टेट गवर्नमेंट नोटिफाई करती है कि मैं ये वाला एरिया जो है एक वाइल्ड लाइफ सैंक्चुरी, दिस इज गोइंग टू बी अ वाइल्ड लाइफ सैंक्चुरी फ्रॉम नाउ ऑन, or this is going to be a national, usually they give. But in case of a national park, it is absolutely mandatory that there should be a proper boundary, properly defined boundary. Okay, in wildlife sanctuaries also it is there. अब properly defined कैसे होगी? You are in a jungle, आप कैसे बताओगे ये यहाँ पे जा रहे हैं और वो वहाँ पे जा रहे हैं? It is usually done with the help of landmarks. So for example अगर मैं कहूँ कि वो river जा रही है तो वहाँ तक वो जा सकता है, या कोई एक pond है उस extent तक, कोई hillock है, छोटी सी पहाड़ी है वहाँ तक. और sometimes they also create checkposts, जैसे बॉर्डर पे देखा है वो एक वैसा बना देते हैं. समटाइम्स दैट इज ऑल्सो डन. ठीक है, सो दीज आर द वेज इन विच दीज बाउंड्रीज आर क्रिएटेड एंड डिफाइंड. दे आर डिफाइंड इन द लेजिस्लेशन इटसेल्फ. सो जब नेशनल पार्क का नोटिफिकेशन निकलता है, गजेट निकलता है, इन दैट इटसेल्फ द बाउंड्रीज आर प्रॉपरली डिफाइंड. In wildlife sanctuaries it is also done, but it is not as compulsory. Sometimes they are loosely defined कि ये इतना area, let's say there is a center में there is a pond and they say the next 500 square kilometers is a wildlife sanctuary. So it's sometimes it may not be properly defined, but in a national park it will be properly defined with landmarks. So the boundary may or may not be properly defined. Okay, may or may not be properly defined. Clear? Okay, now let's come to ownership. अब नेशनल पार्क है, आपको उसको मैक्सिमम प्रोटेक्शन देना है, वहाँ पे आप बिल्कुल एब्सोल्युटली जीरो ह्यूमन इंटरफेरेंस डाल रहे हो, तो गवर्नमेंट हैज टू टेक कंट्रोल. सो दीज आर एस्टैब्लिश्ड एंड ओन्ड बाय द गवर्नमेंट. Established and owned by the government. Okay, wildlife sanctuaries are also 90% they are established by the government and they are owned by the government. हमने देखा 86% forest in India are anyway publicly owned. Okay, so but there is one wildlife sanctuary in India which is privately owned. Okay, so there are exceptions. National parks में there are no exceptions. Clear? So wildlife sanctuary is also government owned, but there are exceptions, and the exception is SAI, SAI, which is also known as Save Animals Initiative. Save Animals Initiative. Okay, wildlife sanctuary. This is in Kodagu. Kodagu district, Karnataka. This is the one wildlife sanctuary in India which is privately owned. The Save Animals Initiative, the name itself is telling you it is a okay, so there are good people also in this world who want to protect, not everybody is greedy. Okay, ठीक है, so ये एक exception है. National parks में there are absolutely no exceptions whatsoever. ठीक है, then purpose. देखो purpose ना on paper होता है, frankly on paper purpose है कि यार वाइल्ड लाइफ सेंचुरी है, मतलब हम किसी पर्टिकुलर स्पीशीज को बचाना चाहते हैं, या हम वाइल्ड लाइफ की प्रोटेक्शन, या इट इज फॉर द प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ सम वाइल्ड एनिमल. ओके, एंड on paper they say the purpose for national park is that you want to protect the whole ecosystem, but they are practically the same thing. If you want to protect the species, you have to protect the ecosystem. All right, so on ground कोई difference नहीं है purpose में, but in a wildlife sanctuary special care will be taken to protect certain species and let their number grow. So the purpose of wildlife sanctuary will be protection of certain species. Okay, अगर आप purpose इनका definition वैसे, if you go to the ministry website, you will see everybody is talking about the same thing, that these are areas which have rich biodiversity, rich in flora, fauna, geomorphological value, so on and so forth. सब कुछ वो same ही चीज़ें लिखी हुई हैं, तो कोई ऐसा difference नहीं है. The difference is primarily on paper, okay, but effectively, practically all the steps taken are same. वही पानी के टैंक्स बनाए जाएंगे एनिमल्स के लिए, उनका काउंट रखा जाएगा, उनको मॉनिटर किया जाएगा, हंटिंग एंड पोचिंग के लिए स्टेप्स लिए जाएंगे. प्रैक्टिकली एवरीथिंग इज सेम. ओके, बट ऑन पेपर द पर्पस इज दिस इज फॉर प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ सर्टन स्पीशीज एंड दिस लुक्स आफ्टर द एंटायर इकोसिस्टम. ठीक है, अब ये है, दिस इज द डिफरेंस. नाउ वन वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट विच विल हेल्प you clear a lot of doubts, okay, before I come to these two, is sometimes a national park is nestled inside a wildlife sanctuary. For example, if this is an area of a wildlife sanctuary, okay, this particular region, inside it is a national park. ऐसा भी होता है, ठीक है, रादर ऐसा ज़्यादा होता है. ठीक है, सो आई विल गिव यू एन एग्जाम्पल. मैं तुम्हें एक्चुअल मैप्स दिखाऊंगी ऑफ वाइल्ड लाइफ सैंक्चुरीज एंड नेशनल पार्क्स वेयर दिस इज देयर. ओके, बट जस्ट फॉर योर रफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग, दिस फॉर एग्जाम्पल आई विल टेल यू अबाउट गिर वाइल्ड लाइफ सैंक्चुरी भी बोलते हैं, गिर नेशनल पार्क भी बोलते हैं, दोनों सुनने में आता है. बट वॉट इज द डिफरेंस? द आउटसाइड एरिया, there is a central core area in this place, in this reserve or in this sanctuary, which is the national park, which boundary is defined. And जो भी tourism होना है, for example, if tourists are coming and they are, let's say, lodging outside or somewhere near on the periphery of the wildlife sanctuary, वो बस इस area में जीप घुमा के वापस ले आते हैं. तुमने देखा होगा. Has anyone of you been to Jim Corbett? I am yet to come across a single person in my life who has spotted a tiger in Jim Corbett. Everybody I know, they say, yaar hum ghum to aaye, tiger to dikha nahi. I don't know what is the reason. Okay, the reason is probably this only, that they take them usually out in the outer area. ठीक है, and the main जो ये वाला है, this is absolutely inviolate. You cannot enter this. So if I say Gir National Park, I am talking about this portion. If I am saying wildlife sanctuary, this entire thing. Gir National Park and Wildlife Sanctuary, कई बारी हम ऐसा भी बोलते हैं. ओके, तो कभी कभी जब नाम पढ़ोगे गिर नेशनल पार्क, वाइल्ड लाइफ सेंचुरी, डोंट गेट कंफ्यूज कि यार ये नेशनल पार्क है कि वाइल्ड लाइफ सेंचुरी है. इट इज बोथ. ओके, इट डिपेंड्स ऑन द एरिया यू आर talking about. So this is one point which will clear your doubts forever, and on the basis of this also तुम्हारे आधे सारे डाउट्स क्लियर हो जाएंगे. यही कॉन्सेप्ट लगता है टाइगर एरिया में, टाइगर रिजर्व्स में, यही कॉन्सेप्ट लगता है बायोस्फीयर रिजर्व्स में, यही कॉन्सेप्ट लगता है, I forgot, tiger reserves, elephant reserves and biosphere reserves. Same concept, that they have a certain core area. All right. Biosphere reserve is also a larger area which will have many national parks and wildlife sanctuaries inside it. ओके क्लियर? तो ये अभी हम पिक्चर्स देखेंगे तो क्लैरिटी आएगी. या स्टेट इज द की अथॉरिटी. हर चीज का स्टेट अथॉरिटी है. नेशनल का सिर्फ रोल ये है कि बताना आप ये कर सकते हो कि नहीं, और वो भी प्राइमरीली व्हेन स्टेट वांट्स टू डी नोटिफाई और इट वांट्स टू ऑल्टर. अगर स्टेट एक प्रोटेक्टेड एरिया बनाना चाहती है, इन ऑल लाइकलीहुड सेंटर विल सपोर्ट. सेंटर बोलता है आप बनाओ, नोटिफाई करो कि मेरा ये वाइल्ड लाइफ सैंक्चुरी है या ये नेशनल पार्क है. स्टेट गवर्नमेंट्स डू दैट. But if you want to denotify an area, या फिर you want to use that forest land for some non-forest purpose, like constructing a highway or a railway corridor or anything of that sort, then you have to take permission of the National Board for Wildlife, जिसका structure अभी हमने समझा. ठीक है? Clear? So if you want to remove the forests, you have to take permission from center. अपने end पे तुम जो मर्जी declare करते रहो, that is your choice. ठीक है? Because it puts restrictions on the state government. So state governments also sometimes don't want to do it. Forests is one of the major sources of non-tax revenue for state governments. Non-tax revenue. मतलब tax नहीं है, but a lot of revenue comes from these places. Okay, so state governments are sometimes very reluctant to declare certain areas. ठीक है? Clear? ये अभी समझ आ गया? ठीक है. Now let's move to the other two categories which were declared in 2002. Okay, that is community reserves and conservation reserves. एक बार नंबर रिवाइज कर लो, कितना कितना नंबर है किसका? How much is wildlife? National parks is 106. How many wildlife sanctuaries are there? 573. Huh? Now conservation reserves 115 and community reserves 220. अच्छा, अब let's come to this. These two categories were introduced in the amendment to the Wildlife Protection Act 2002 amendment. 2002 में हमने amendment की और हमने ये दो categories और introduce की. Alright, conservation reserves and community reserves. Now, the main difference between the two of them is the name itself is telling you ये community की है. So it either belongs, I'm talking about the ownership, it either belongs to an individual or a community. It either belongs to an individual or a community. An individual can also say, मेरा बहुत बड़ा अच्छा 10 एकड़ का plot है, बहुत जंगल है, I can tell the government, this is a very nice place, I want to protect it, please, this is my land, but please protect this area. So the government will say, okay, I will rope in my forest department and we will create a committee. Okay, we will create a committee which will henceforth look after the management of this protected area. Okay, but the ownership will still be mine, ऐसा नहीं government का हो जाएगा. ठीक है? On the other hand, the conservation reserve, the ownership lies with the government. Okay, the ownership lies with the government. तो हमने क्यों बनाया ये? जब हमारे पास ये भी है, तो फिर इसकी क्या जरूरत है? Why do we need this? हम वाइल्ड लाइफ सैंक्चुरी डिक्लेयर कर दे, गवर्नमेंट उसको नेशनल पार्क डिक्लेयर कर दे, क्यों नहीं? बिकॉज दीज टू टाइप्स ऑफ एरियाज आर वेरी स्मॉल पैचेस. तुमने देखा ना कितना परसेंट एरिया था? कंजर्वेशन रिजर्व अकाउंट्स फॉर 0.17% of India's geographical area. Community reserves account for 0.04%. These are very small parcels of land which are strategically located. मान लो 2 बड़े नेशनल पार्क्स हैं या वाइल्ड लाइफ सैंक्चुरी, उसके बीच में एक छोटा सा प्लॉट है. अभी तुम छोटे से प्लॉट को अलग वाइल्ड लाइफ सैंक्चुरी तो नहीं डिक्लेयर करोगे, राइट? सो फॉर दैट पर्पसेस दो स्मॉल पार्सल्स ऑफ लैंड और स्मॉल areas, corridors, which also require conservation, which also require protection, maybe to not this extent, but also require protection, are covered under conservation reserves. Okay, same concept with community reserves, difference being in the ownership of the two. Clear? ये भी clear हो गया? ठीक है. अच्छा, they are mostly located, like I told you, they are located in buffer zones. ठीक है, एग्जैक्ट इनके आगे पीछे कहीं होंगे, ये नहीं होंगे, इनके आगे पीछे होंगे. माइग्रेटरी रूट्स, मान लो एलिफेंट कॉरिडोर्स हो गए, ठीक है. सो दीज आर दोज काइंड ऑफ एरियाज. क्लियर? अंडरस्टूड? ओके. And their main job is that they connect different national parks and wildlife sanctuaries. ठीक है, clear. To give you an example, एक example देती हूँ. छारी डंड in Gujarat. छारी डंड in Gujarat. Okay, this is an example of a conservation reserve. भाई 115 है, तुम कोई भी नाम उठा सकते हो. Okay, I'm just giving you an example. Chari Dand is basically a small belt of grasslands located in the Kutch region of Gujarat, जहाँ आपके बन्नी grasslands हैं. बन्नी grasslands, you know, बन्नी grasslands जहाँ पर this is a completely dry area, बिल्कुल dry है. There is hardly any vegetation, small scrubs and jhadis and all. Okay, it has species like bustard, it has species like वाइल्ड कैट. ओके, तो वैसे वाले स्पीशीज हैं वहाँ पे विच आर मतलब स्मॉल स्पीशीज, कोई बहुत मेजर बिग कैट स्पीशीज नहीं है. टाइगर नहीं है, टाइगर तो खैर लायन भी नहीं है गुजरात का, ठीक है. सो दोज आर, दैट इज दैट बेल्ट, छाड़ी डंड. ओके, एंड an example of community reserve, or rather I'll tell you the first community reserve in India was Keshopur Mayani. Keshopur Mayani. This was established in 2007. This is in Punjab. Community reserves. Okay. Now, very interestingly, how many community reserves are there? 220. 220 में से almost 204 या 205 community reserves are in northeast. They are in northeast, especially in the states of Arunachal, Meghalaya, Nagaland and Manipur. These 4 states, okay, they are in northeast. Why? Acha, let me also give you a disclaimer here. These ये जो नॉर्थ ईस्ट वाले 200 प्लस कम्युनिटी रिजर्व्स हैं, ये बहुत रिसेंटली बने हैं, ठीक है, लास्ट 2-3 years में ही. सो इफ यू आर रेफरिंग टू सम ओल्ड बुक्स ऑफ एनवायरनमेंट और एनीथिंग, उसमें बोलेगा कि सिर्फ 4 कम्युनिटी रिजर्व्स हैं. देर आर नॉट 4, देर आर 220 प्लस कम्युनिटी रिजर्व्स नाउ इन इंडिया. ओके, ऑल दीज हैव बीन क्रिएटेड recently, so don't get confused with that data. 4 नहीं है, ठीक है. And why is that? Because most of the land in northeast India is owned by the people. It is community land, ठीक है. And because of the sensitivities, the governments there also do not declare them as national parks or wildlife sanctuaries. बहुत कम करती हैं. So most of these land now are being managed collectively by the communities there along with the forest department there. Okay, so whenever a community reserve is established, a committee is set up. All right, it is called the Community Reserve Management Committee. Community Reserve Management Committee. This committee has जो वहाँ का लोकल फॉरेस्ट ऑफिसर्स होंगे, जो वहाँ के सरपंच या गांव वाले होंगे और जो लैंड का ओनर होगा, सबको मिला के कमिटी बनाई जाती है. एंड देन दे स्टार्ट मैनेजिंग द फॉरेस्ट. अब इस केस में होता क्या है, पहले तो वो लैंड उसका अपना था, कम्युनिटी का अपना था, इंडिविजुअल का अपना था. नाउ द फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट हैज ऑल्सो कम इन. तो कुछ तो रिस्ट्रिक्शंस लाएगा. फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट इज नॉट अ म्यूट स्पेक्टेटर. The forest department will also put certain restrictions. So certain restrictions that are put on community reserves include obviously no hunting. Otherwise आपकी private land है, community land है, लोग hunt कर रहे हैं, tribals कर रहे हैं, करें, but hunting will not be allowed. Okay, agriculture also sometimes is not allowed. all right, because that means if you have to practice agriculture, you have to cut down trees, correct? So that is also restricted. So what is happening, what the government could not do directly in Northeast through the establishment of national parks and wildlife sanctuaries, it is making a backdoor entry into Northeast through community reserves. The management is still with both the parties, but certain restrictions are also being placed. UPSC asked a question on this in 2023 prelims. I will show you the question also. ठीक है, clear? अभी बिल्कुल all set, ठीक है? Okay, good smiling faces. All right. So अब कंजर्वेशन रिजर्व्स है, ठीक है, अब कम्युनिटी रिजर्व्स हैं, इसमें पीपल ऑल्सो हैव अ से कम्युनिटी रिजर्व्स में, तो दे मे बी वांट टू एस्टैब्लिश इको टूरिज्म. एग्रीकल्चर नहीं करना नहीं करेंगे, हंटिंग नहीं करना नहीं करेंगे, बट दे कैन हैव इको टूरिज्म, दे कैन हैव सस्टेनेबल टूरिज्म फैसिलिटीज, वो करके दे कैन प्रमोट. सो थोड़ा सा कंट्रोल उनके ऊपर है. सो दोज थिंग्स कैन बी डन एज लॉन्ग एज यू आर नॉट हैम्परिंग द बायोडाइवर्सिटी. ठीक है, दिस इज द ओवरऑल फ्रेमवर्क ऑफ द protected areas in India. No, that is not exactly a wildlife sanctuary, but it is more like a, see again it is private, but it is not a statutorily recognized. ठीक है, plus it is more like a, देखो ऐसे small initiatives, so there are elephant homes, elephant villages, ठीक है, जहाँ पे वो पूरा villages made around elephants, in the sense कि elephant will be the key focal point, उसका वहाँ थोड़ा सा tourism करा देंगे, थोड़ी सी greenery में घुमा देंगे, and elephants को breed और वो करेंगे. So these are all private initiatives, but it has nothing to do with statutorily recognized places. Okay, okay. This is a fairly common thing. जो आप बोल रहे हो वो बहुत common है, बहुत जगहों पे होता है. Okay, clear, understood? One example is out on the outskirts of Jaipur also there is one elephant village. I don't know. हाथी गांव है ना, हाँ, सो दैट इज ऑल्सो देयर. ठीक है, सो दीज आर ऑल प्राइवेट इनिशिएटिव्स. तो वो जितने भी महंत होते हैं उन्हीं के बच्चों के लिए वहाँ स्कूल बन जाता है, वो वहाँ पढ़ते हैं, फिर वो एलिफेंट्स का टेक केयर करते हैं जनरेशन आफ्टर जनरेशन. दैट इज द कॉन्सेप्ट. इट्स नॉट रियली अ प्रोटेक्टेड एरिया. ठीक है, ओके, क्लियर. व्हाट नेक्स्ट? दिस इज अंडरस्टूड. अभी चारों में डिफरेंस एकदम समझ आ गया सबको, क्या है क्या नहीं. अच्छा, नाउ आई टोल्ड यू द सिमिलर कॉन्सेप्ट अप्लाइज इन national park is inside a wildlife sanctuary. Okay, similar concept will apply in biosphere reserves. A biosphere reserve will again be spread over a certain, let's say certain wildlife sanctuaries or certain national parks. Okay, I will show you an example of that also. Similar thing is tiger reserves. What are tiger reserves? अब tiger reserve का concept भी same है, that suppose this entire area is tiger reserve. Okay, tiger reserve is again divided into core and buffer region. All right, core and buffer region. तो ये tiger reserve का मान लो core region है. In all likelihood this core region will already be some protected area, or for example it could be a national park or a wildlife sanctuary. Rest of it is the buffer region. That's how tiger reserves are different. It will already, जो core area है, that will be a protected area. Rest of it will be a buffer region. Okay, okay. Similarly, elephant reserves and similarly biosphere reserves. एक biosphere reserve है, for example, this is a biosphere reserve. यहाँ इसके एक sanctuary है, इधर एक national park है, इधर एक दूसरी sanctuary है, इधर कोई community reserve है. But this whole major, this larger chunk of area, okay, at the more you pan out more, you will get a biosphere reserve. वो उसके examples भी अभी हम देखेंगे. I'll show you proper maps, you will understand it better. ठीक है, clear? Okay, have you noted this? Can I erase this? All right. Okay, finally just one or two things. जो main points हैं that I have explained, we'll talk a little about tiger reserves. How tiger reserves are different? Tiger reserves की management में the main body which comes into picture is the NTCA, which is known as the full form Tiger Conservation Authority. ये आप समझ लो एक तरीके की टेक्निकल बॉडी है जो बोलती है कि आपको टाइगर की कंजर्वेशन के लिए क्या क्या करना चाहिए. सो हाउ इट स्टार्ट्स इज दैट स्टेट गवर्नमेंट आएगी. एक स्टेट गवर्नमेंट को लग रहा है कि यार मेरे स्टेट में इस पैच में बहुत सारे टाइगर्स हैं, आई शुड कन्वर्ट इट इनटू अ टाइगर रिजर्व. ऑल्सो बिकॉज दे गेट फंड्स. ये उनका एक वो भी अंडरलाइंग मोटिव होता है दैट स्टेट गवर्नमेंट रिसीव्स लॉट ऑफ फंड्स ओके अंडर प्रोजेक्ट टाइगर. व्हेन वाज प्रोजेक्ट टाइगर इनिशिएटेड? 73. सो कितने साल हो गए? Last year it marked the completion on 50 years. So again this topic is important. Okay. So what state government does is, state government says okay I want to establish a tiger reserve in so and so area of my state. They will identify मेरे पास इतने टाइगर्स हैं, इतने पानी के कुएं हैं, इतना ये है, इतना प्रे बेस है, इतने डियर है, इतने बोर हैं. Everything they will do at a preliminary level. They will propose a plan. The plan will go to, or the proposal will go to the National Tiger Conservation Authority, NTCA. Okay, NTCA will give its inputs on the plan that this probably you need to do better or whatever, and finally when it gives its approval, the state government only notifies. ठीक है, state government ही notify करती है what are the, this is the tiger reserves. So wildlife sanctuary, national park, tiger reserves, they're all notified by the state government. Only difference being अगर कोई स्टेट में ऐसी लैंड है विच बिलोंग्स टू द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया, मान लो गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने लीज पे ले रखी है या गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया को दे दी है व्हाटएवर, देन उस लैंड पे अगर वाइल्ड लाइफ सैंक्चुरी या नेशनल पार्क इस्टेब्लिश होना है, that has to be notified by the central government. State government cannot. वो है ही नहीं उनकी लैंड तो वो कैसे notify कर देंगे? Common sense, ठीक है? So when somebody tells you that state government and the government of India can notify a wildlife sanctuary and national park, yes, but government of India does it when the land is probably given to them on lease या उनकी कोई patch है, then it does it. But mostly all cases state government ही notify करता है. Clear? This is also understood. ठीक है? And tiger reserves are also notified by the state government. Again, gazette में निकलता है कि हम इतना सा इतना area and we define the boundary will become a tiger reserve. And always they will be in tandem with NTCA. NTCA is the technical scientist body. आप ये समझ लो, वो आके बताएंगे आपका ये होना चाहिए, ये नहीं, whatever. Clear? This is also understood. All right. Very nice. Okay. How many tiger reserves are there in India? 56. 56 is the latest number. 56 tiger reserves are there in India. Okay. And if state government wants to change the boundary of the tiger reserve, again I told you, declare karna is easy, but if you have to change, the state government again has to, with recommendations from NTCA, पहले तो इनका अप्रूवल लो टेक्निकल बॉडी का कि हम कर सकते हैं कि नहीं. If they give the approval, then the approval has to be again taken by the National Board for Wildlife. Again उनका अप्रूवल लेना है, then only you can alter the boundaries of the tiger reserve. ठीक है, कॉन्सेप्ट मोर और लेस सब में सेम है, पर्पस थोड़ा डिफरेंट है. अब टाइगर रिजर्व है तो फोकस्ड ऑन टाइगर्स होगा, बट इवेंचुअली यू आर प्रोटेक्टिंग द एंटायर इकोसिस्टम. ठीक है. Next is elephant reserves. Same, almost everything, same concept, same kuch. The only thing is, difference is in here there is no technical body like in NTCA. So the proposal goes to the steering committee for Project Elephant. Steering committee. For Project Elephant, which is at the national level. ठीक है. And this committee approves or tells the feasibility of the project, and after permission from this steering committee, again state government notifies after permission from this. ठीक है, clear? How many elephant reserves are there in India? Latest कुछ तो बोल दो, 10, 20, 30, 40. गैस मारने में क्या जा रहा है? यहाँ कौन सा नंबर कट रहे? 30. और कोई 99. It's 33. Close. Okay, we have 33, the latest one being Terai Elephant Reserve. Okay, Terai in Uttar Pradesh, I think. Okay. So स्टेट आइडेंटिफाई करेगा, वही स्टेप समझ लो कि स्टेट विल कैसे करेगा. सबसे पहले स्टेट आइडेंटिफाई करेगा कि ये एरिया मेरा अच्छा एलिफेंट रिजर्व बन सकता है, आइडेंटिफिकेशन. सेकंड नंबर पे वो नोटिफिकेशन निकालेगा कि जब इनका अप्रूवल आ गया कमिटी का, वो नोटिफिकेशन निकालेगा कि ये अब से मेरा एलिफेंट रिजर्व है. एंड फाइनली थर्ड नंबर पे वैलिडेशन होगा, यानी कि जो स्टेट के फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट की ऑफिशियल्स हैं, दे विल वैलिडेट द बाउंड्रीज. सिंपल. ठीक है, अब ये भी समझ आ गया. ठीक है, ऑल राइट. अगेन एलिफेंट रिजर्व्स का दिस थिंग कैन ओवरलैप विद नेशनल पार्क, कैन ओवरलैप विद वाइल्ड लाइफ सैंक्चुरी. देयर इज नो डेफिनेशन. द ओनली 4 recognized boundaries, protected areas under wildlife protection. होते ये भी सारे, आप ये नहीं बोलोगे कि this is not under wildlife protection act. These are also notified under wildlife protection act, but clearly the 4 categories that are mentioned in the wildlife protection act are those 4. ठीक है, दिस इज ऑल्सो डन अंडर वाइल्ड लाइफ प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट, क्योंकि एक ही मेजर एक्ट है इंडिया का जो वाइल्ड लाइफ की प्रोटेक्शन के लिए है, विच गिव्स द पावर टू द स्टेट गवर्नमेंट्स टू नोटिफाई एरियाज. ठीक है, अंडरस्टूड. हाँ जी, हो सकता है. तो हमने वही देखा ना, टाइगर रिजर्व का कोर एरिया जो है, सॉरी, टाइगर रिजर्व का कोर एरिया नेशनल पार्क होगा, बाहर बफर एरिया होगा. इट कैन वेरी वेल. Safari will be only allowed in the buffer area. You cannot do it in the core area if it is a national park. Anyway, also you can't do it in the core area. ठीक है, सो बफर एरिया में बाहर से देख लो, आपकी लक. कोई दिख गया तो ठीक है, नहीं तो घूम के वापस आ जाना. ठीक है, क्लियर, अंडरस्टूड, ऑलराइट. अच्छा, नाउ लेट्स गेट बैक टू द पीपीटी. आई जस्ट वांट टू शो यू दोज मैप्स so that you are.
Get on the right track to commence your journey for the UPSC Prelims 2025 with the Fast Track course. An effective strategy will not only lead you to succeed in the prelims, but is also your launch pad to proceed to the mains. Starting from 19th November at 1 p.m, enroll to transform your journey with coverage of GS Prelims syllabus, regular practice, performance assessment and feedback, dedicated mentorship and guidance. How will the program help you? Result-oriented preparation in GS and current affairs, efficient time and resource management, development of problem-solving skills, motivation, confidence building and enhanced exam readiness.
ठीक है, this is a map of नेशनल पार्क्स ऑफ इंडिया. ओके, कितने हैं नंबर रिवाइज? 106. हाउ मच एरिया, ज्योग्राफिकल एरिया ऑफ इंडिया? 3 पॉइंट. ये बार बार ये नंबर्स रिवाइज कर लो, ये थोड़ा सा हैंडी रहता है. ठीक है, तुम ऐसे में भी ये नंबर्स लिख सकते हो, सो दैट कैन हेल्प यू. 3 पॉइंट, ओ सॉरी 1 पॉइंट. ओके, ऑल राइट. विच इज द लार्जेस्ट नेशनल पार्क ऑफ इंडिया? डेजर्ट तो है लेकिन हॉट नहीं है, कोल्ड है. लद्दाख. ओके, हेमिस नेशनल पार्क इज द लार्जेस्ट, ऑलमोस्ट 4000 प्लस स्क्वायर किलोमीटर. ठीक है, हेमिस है. विच इज द स्मॉलेस्ट नेशनल पार्क इन इंडिया? अगेन मारो गैस, नो नेगेटिव. महावीर. अच्छा, और काजीरंगा तो बहुत बड़ा है. काजीरंगा मत बोल देना कहीं, तुक्के में भी नहीं. ओके, स्मॉलेस्ट इज दिस साउथ बटन, सबसे नीचे अंडमान में साउथ बटन, बटन ही है वो. ठीक है, इट इज 5 स्क्वायर किलोमीटर, बहुत छोटा है. ठीक है, दिस इज द लार्जेस्ट एंड स्मॉलेस्ट. अब बहुत सारा ट्रिविया तो मैं पढ़ाने बैठूंगी तो आई कैन गिव यू ट्रिविया अबाउट सो मेनी की यहाँ 1 हॉर्न राइनो है, यहाँ ग्रेट इंडियन बस्टर्ड है, बट आई एम नॉट गेटिंग इनटू दैट अभी. ठीक है, ऑलराइट. नेक्स्ट देखो, ये है एग्जाम. दिस इज अ एक्चुअल मैप ऑफ गिर वाइल्ड लाइफ सैंक्चुरी एंड नेशनल पार्क. सी, द लाइट ग्रीन इज गिर सैंक्चुरी. ठीक है, ये देखो गुजरात में यहाँ पर दिस बेल्ट, दिस इज सासन गिर, ठीक है, सासन डिस्ट्रिक्ट का नाम है, ठीक है, एंड ऑफ कोर्स दैट इज द मैप ऑफ इंडिया, एंड दिस इनर पोर्शन इज द गिर नेशनल पार्क. तो तुम गिर घूमने जाओगे तो तुम्हें यहीं से घुमा के वापस ले आएंगे वो. ठीक है, यू विल नॉट बी अलाउड इन टू द नेशनल पार्क. अंडरस्टूड? ऑल राइट, नेक्स्ट इज, हाँ जी, एनी डबल एस कुछ होगा, आई डोंट नो, सम लैंडमार्क, आई डोंट नो. ठीक है, ऑल राइट. नेक्स्ट इज बायोस्फीयर रिजर्व्स इन इंडिया. ठीक है, बायोस्फीयर रिजर्व्स इन इंडिया, अगेन देर आर 16 बायोस्फीयर रिजर्व्स इन इंडिया विच हैव बीन आइडेंटिफाइड और रिकग्नाइज्ड बाय यूनेस्को. मैन एंड बायोस्फीयर प्रोग्राम है यूनेस्को का, वो बोलते हैं इसके अंडर जो एरियाज विच आर rich in not just biodiversity and ecosystem wildlife but also cultural significance, and which are important for educational scientific purposes also. तो biosphere reserve को जब national park और wildlife sanctuary से अलग करना है, always include these aspects: education, culture, scientific research and all that. ठीक है, ये उनके, this is also a key pillar of biosphere reserves. These are the 16 biosphere reserves in India, largest being, yes, Kutch, again Kutch. Kutch is the largest biosphere reserve, and smallest is Dibru Saikhowa. Yes, they are. You can't say they are not, but this is not a special category under the Wildlife Protection Act. ठीक है, government recognizes biosphere reserves. They are notified also by the state government, but it is not a special category as such within the Wildlife Protection Act. ठीक है, again मैं उसका example दिखाती हूँ, you will understand this better. Look at this map. This is the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve. Okay, if I open this Nilgiri को, देखो यहाँ पे क्या है, राजीव गांधी नेशनल पार्क, बंदीपुर, ओके, देन यू हैव मुकुर्थी, ऑलराइट, ऐसे अलग अलग छोटे छोटे वाइल्ड लाइफ सैंक्चुरीज, रिजर्व फॉरेस्ट, अलग अलग, ये कावेरी वाइल्ड लाइफ सैंक्चुरी, अलग अलग वो है, ओके, प्रोटेक्टेड एरियाज. सो recognition actually is this, but एक overarching biosphere reserve, this is the place. Clear? Understood? This is how biosphere reserves are. Okay, next is tiger reserves. Again we discussed how and why. अच्छा, largest tigers reserve, it's not mentioned here actually, but मुझे state भी बता दोगे तो चलेगा. तेलंगाना and आंध्रा, which is श्रीशैलम. हाँ, ठीक है, so that is the largest टाइगर रिजर्व इन इंडिया. ओके, तो अभी अगर मैं तुमसे पूछूं जो कोर एरिया है उसका टाइगर रिजर्व का, दैट इज ऑल्सो नोन एज द क्रिटिकल टाइगर हैबिटेट. ठीक है, कोर एरिया को क्रिटिकल टाइगर हैबिटेट होता है. सो इफ क्वेश्चन इज आस्क्ड बाय यूपीएससी विच टाइगर रिजर्व हैज द लार्जेस्ट कोर एरिया, तो विल नेचुरली बी अ टाइगर रिजर्व जो खुद सबसे बड़ा है. ओके, सो दैट वे यू कैन अप्लाई योर लॉजिक. एंड विच इज द स्मॉलेस्ट इज Bor Tiger Reserve in Maharashtra. This is the smallest tiger reserve in India. ठीक है, next ये है नागार्जुन सागर श्रीशैलम. This is the largest tiger reserve. अब इसमें देखो core area और buffer area defined है again. ये these are maps of the forest department. ठीक है, वो ऐसे ही बनाते हैं मैप, उनके पॉइंट्स होते हैं. देखो उन्होंने टाइगर भी बनाया कि दिस इज अ रेंज, यहाँ पे ये कम्युनिटीज है या फिर यहाँ पे वो रह रहे हैं clearly. Then there is this is a road, this is a railway line, this is a official map of forest department. This is how they, and within this area also they are dividing it into divisions. तो ये रिजर्व फॉरेस्ट है, ये यूजुअली डिवीजन में डिवाइड होता है, ये डिवीजन है, ये डिवीजन है, सो दैट दे कैन क्लियरली आइडेंटिफाई. अब बात करनी है तो ऐसे थोड़ी बोलेंगे कि वहाँ जंगल में वो शेर है. सो यू हैव टू टॉक अबाउट द एग्जैक्ट लोकेशन वेयर व्हाट, बिकॉज फॉरेस्ट में डोंट फॉरगेट इट्स अ यूनिफॉर्म्ड फोर्स लाइक पुलिस एंड आर्मी. फॉरेस्ट इज अ यूनिफॉर्म्ड फोर्स लाइक पुलिस एंड आर्मी. इनके जो बीट गार्ड्स होते हैं दे रिमेन इन द फॉरेस्ट लाइक यू नो सिक्योरिटी पर्सनल एट बॉर्डर्स. They have firearms, they have डंडा and all, और वो अंदर रहते हैं. They have walkie talkies and everything, and they it's a uniformed force. So they stay there, they keep updating कि अभी ये हो रहा है, ये हो रहा है. पेट्रोलिंग पे रहते हैं, अंदर बीट गार्ड्स रहते हैं, उनके घर भी बने हुए हैं. So it's a very scientifically done thing. ठीक है, clear? Okay, next. अब ये है चिन्नार वाइल्ड लाइफ सैंक्चुरी फॉर एग्जाम्पल. अब वाइल्ड लाइफ सैंक्चुरी, दिस इज चिन्नार, दिस इज केरला. ये पलक्कड़ गैप है, आई डोंट नो इफ यू हैव रेड अबाउट इट इन ज्योग्राफी, बट एनीवे दिस इज केरला. तो अब तुम देखो वाइल्ड लाइफ सैंक्चुरी का एरिया एक यूनिफॉर्म तरीके से दिखाया हुआ है कि दिस इज अ वाइल्ड लाइफ सैंक्चुरी. नो कोर, नो बफर एरिया, नथिंग लाइक दैट. ठीक है, इट्स वन प्लेन वाइल्ड लाइफ सैंक्चुरी. Okay, let's see some questions. This question I was talking about, UPSC asked in 2020, among the following tiger reserves, which one has the largest area under critical tiger habitat? Main problem इसमें ये हुआ कि people did not know critical tiger habitat is core area. बस उतना ही था इसमें catch. If you know that, the answer is Nagarjun Srisailam. ठीक है. Next is, which one of the following national park lies completely in the temperate alpine zone? मतलब अब वो कहाँ पे उसकी लोकेशन है. तो these kind of questions can be asked. तो मतलब कि टेम्परेट है यानी कि ठंडा है, ट्रॉपिकल में नहीं है. एल्पाइन है मतलब पहाड़ में है. तो अब इसके हिसाब से यू कैन चेक आउट द ऑप्शंस. ठीक है, आंसर इज वैली ऑफ फ्लावर्स. ओके, वन मोर क्वेश्चन. Which of the following are in अगस्त्यमलय बायोस्फीयर रिजर्व? वही मैंने बताया, बायोस्फीयर रिजर्व्स में कौन कौन से आते हैं, दैट इज अ क्वेश्चन दैट यूपीएससी आस्क. सो जो मेजर बायोस्फीयर रिजर्व्स हैं, एटलीस्ट जो 16 रिकग्नाइज्ड हैं, वो तो यू शुड नो. ऑलराइट, सो द आंसर टू दिस क्वेश्चन इज ऑप्शन ए. ऑलराइट, नेक्स्ट सिमिलर क्वेश्चन यूपीएससी हैज आस्क्ड. ये मैंने तो बताया था, कम्युनिटी रिजर्व्स आर दे फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट्स बैकडोर एंट्री इनटू द नॉर्थ ईस्ट इंडिया? ठीक है, बिकॉज फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट वैसे तो नहीं जा रही, दे डोंट वांट टू अपसेट द पीपल, दे आर नॉट डिक्लेयरिंग वाइल्ड लाइफ सैंक्चुरीज एंड वॉट एवर, सो दे आर फाइंडिंग अ वे ऑफ कंट्रोलिंग थ्रू establishment of community reserves. And this is the question UPSC asked. Once the central government notifies an area as a community reserve, the chief wildlife warden of the state becomes the governing authority of such forest. Is this right or wrong? Chief wildlife warden मैंने बताया था, है ना, वाइल्ड लाइफ डिविजन का हेड. तो वो बन जाता है क्या फाइनल अथॉरिटी? नो, द कमिटी इज देयर, अदरवाइज व्हाट इज द पॉइंट, है ना. कम्युनिटी रिजर्व ही नहीं रहेगा वो अगर कम्युनिटी उसमें से हट जाएगी. सो दिस स्टेटमेंट इज रॉन्ग. ओके, हंटिंग इज नॉट अलाउड इन सच एरिया. यस, कुछ तो प्रोटेक्शन मिलेगा. पीपल ऑफ सच एरिया आर अलाउड टू कलेक्ट नॉन टिम्बर फॉरेस्ट प्रोड्यूस. यस, बिकॉज कम्युनिटी ऑल्सो हैज टू हैव सम नॉन टिम्बर, यानी कि लकड़ी पेड़ नहीं काट सकते, बट फल, पौधे, शहद, ये सब आप वहाँ से ले सकते हो. ठीक है. एंड पीपल ऑफ सच एरिया आर अलाउड ट्रेडिशनल एग्रीकल्चरल प्रैक्टिसेस लाइक शिफ्टिंग, कल्टिवेशन एंड ऑल. कर सकते हैं? नहीं, बिकॉज अदरवाइज देयर इज नो पॉइंट ऑफ प्रोटेक्शन. सो द करेक्ट आंसर टू दिस इज ऑप्शन बी, ओनली 2. 2 आर करेक्ट, 2 आर रॉन्ग. ठीक है, दिस इज द क्वेश्चन ऑफ 2023. Okay, so with this we come to an end. I hope you have understood the differences. Otherwise बहुत ज़्यादा laymanish way में in newspapers also we read wildlife sanctuary, national park, कुछ समझ नहीं आता है what is the difference, what is the extent of difference. Okay, okay, with this we come to an end of this lecture. We'll take about 10-minute break and then we'll start the next class. ठीक है.